Creative Tech Podcast.
That also makes hiring very difficult and very almost self-selecting because each individual kind of makes each person who joins the company makes the company better. We call them bar raisers.
Say again?
Bar raisers.
Bar raisers.
You raise the bar every time.
I see.
I don't know who coined the term. I think Amazon uses that pretty often. So you want to make sure that every person you're hiring raises the bar of the company so that your company is always getting better. And so we truly believe that as well. But that also makes hiring very difficult because we're very selective. But
I see. I have a question. So I come from New York. So I don't know the difference between San Francisco and New York. And then because of San Francisco, that's why it's difficult to find like appropriate people or like hiring is difficult.
Oh, I see. Like, is the question like, is it the city that makes it hard, or?
Yeah, because I don't know. Like many startup or companies happen every year, everywhere. That's why like talented people like always like I want to hire you, like that. That's why it's difficult.
I think a few things. I would say that San Francisco is the best place in the world to build a startup. Mostly because there's just an insane amount of talent here and a lot of experience from just building many big companies or companies that became big eventually. There are also a lot of investors here that know the ecosystem in and out, that can help you and give you advice. So in terms of that, I think San Francisco is still the best. Why we say hiring is still hard is because I think two things. The first one is we're very selective. We're not trying to make the interview process difficult or anything. I think it's bi-directional. We want to make sure that if a person joins, you would be excited to join and be very effective, and we want to make sure that we can provide the environment for that person to be effective, and vice versa. We talked about the bar raiser concept. We want the company to continue to be better. So there are trade-offs there where we're taking time to hire, and that means that we don't have enough hands sometimes, and we can't build as fast just because we have fewer people. But I think we're in this for the long term, and in the long run, I think this will pay off because company culture, the people that create the foundation of the company is extremely important. Because we've had situations where somebody might not be doing as much as somebody else, and then the person who's doing more is like, wait, why am I doing more if the other person's not doing anything? And that's just not a good feeling for anybody. And so we want to make sure everyone's just excited to work with everyone else. So that I guess that bar just makes it hard for us to hire sometimes. And then two, I think this might be the bigger one. We're in an industry where our vision is something that we truly believe in. And I think in hindsight, it will become so obvious that brands and companies do this, but it's pretty far out, I would say. It's still gonna take at least a few years for companies to realize that this is something that they can do, for regulation to follow if it's about tokens or NFTs. It's something that will take a longer time to build. So, for people who don't, who are not bought into that vision, or for people who don't want to see that long term, it's not the right fit. And it's easier to kind of be like, okay, well, there's this other AI company that is making impact right now because of all the developments with LLM models and what have you. And so people tend to go there because it's easier to understand. So that our longer term vision and mission, it's not necessarily easy for everyone to get on board with. I think that's another reason. But I think that's okay for us because we truly believe in it, and we have found people who agree with us. So, and we're not trying to hire 100 people. We're trying to hire a few people that can build the core team with us and continue to build our products. We've also found that even with 4 people, we have hundreds of paying customers, millions of users, and we're able to handle that because each person does so much. I feel like, some of our teammates, it's like one person is like worth 5 people, because they're so effective. So, it's not about the number of people also.
I see. Thank you. Yeah, it's like a quality.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
I see. Do you want to drink something?
Oh, no, I'm okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Are you okay?
Yes.
That's okay.
Because you spoke a lot, so.
Sorry. Yeah,
You have nice voices.
No, it's okay.
Okay, next question. So tell us about your passion recently, whatever, hobby or whatever.
Well, work is my passion, but outside of work, I was telling her earlier, I play a lot of mahjong, Japanese mahjong. In fact, there's a mahjong table in the back over there. And I taught our entire team how to play. None of them are Japanese, but I taught them how to play Japanese mahjong, and a lot of them enjoy it. There's also a pretty big Japanese entrepreneur community here that a lot of them played mahjong when they're younger. So they're very happy that there's a mahjong table here, because they were like, when I came to the US, I never thought that I can play mahjong ever again.
Why did you decide to buy like a jantaku?
Yeah. Oh, well, it's really slow to do with your hand. Like the automated machine is just much faster.
Automated machine?
Yeah, it's like you press a button and everything comes up.
How did you buy Amazon?
Rakuten. I bought it in Rakuten and then I shipped it over to the US. It wasn't too expensive.
So funny.
Yeah, it was one of the best investments I've made, because I feel like I've made so many people happy here.
Really?
I'm having a good time because I can play with more people. I'm like almost trying to cultivate like a mahjong club amongst like Japanese people, whoever's interested in SF. So it's like pretty fun. Yeah. So yeah.
Do you have a mahjong pie key holder?
Yeah, it's somewhere in the office. Yeah.
I used to have key holder. Oh, so fun.
I think for a lot of people here, obviously you can play mahjong on your phone. There's like digital mahjong and stuff like on mobile apps. But the physical, touching the physical tiles, being together with other people around the table is you can't replicate that on the phone. So I think people really enjoy that in-person experience.
Totally agree, Kei. So no more COVID. And then, thanks to internet, everything convenient and easy and efficiency. But that's why, like opposite way, like in-person experience is so luxury.
Yes, for sure.
Right? That's why I really appreciate you, Kei. You made time to meet with me and had a coffee, and then decided to interview in your office.
Oh, likewise.
This is super luxury. And then also, not only us, all the people want to do real experience in person.
Yeah, well, in the topic of in-person, our company is also in-person only. We don't do remote work. Obviously, we started during COVID, so we were remote in the beginning, and then we realized it is doable, but the speed in which we can move in person is just 10x, 100x compared to when we're remote, especially in the early stages when your company doesn't have product market fit. Because a lot of the work that you're doing is not necessarily just building, but being creative, talking about what we should do, company strategy, tactics, all those things. And those things are just so much easier in person, or it might happen over a drink after work at dinner, in passing when you're taking a break in the kitchen, whatever it is. Those moments, those water cooler moments, we call them.
Water cooler moment.
Water cooler, like where you drink water. Yeah, like in corporate offices, you take a break and you go like drink water. And then while you're taking a break, you pass by somebody and you're like, hey, how's it going? And then you like end up talking about something pretty important, and you get creative ideas. We don't obviously. Yeah, exactly. We don't have any water coolers, but that's what we call them. Or at least that's what I used to call them at Microsoft. So.
Really? Microsoft Word, please.
I'm sure it's a common term in the industry, but. So I think we really find those moments very important, and that's why we're only hiring in person in New York, not New York, in San Francisco.
I love that. Yeah, I see. So I started to this creative tech podcast from almost all end of March, and then, of course, we published almost every day, and then we realized so it's kind of we could make a small community and fostering a community, and then people want to meet us in person, and then why not we could start like a real in-person meetup, and then people love it. So even super rainy day, people came to here like a super yeah, and then we so appreciate, and then thanks to in-person meetup, and then like a new idea came up. Okay, next time we can do like talk. We can do other meetup, discuss about DEI, because Japan super lagging behind about DEI.
I see.
Yeah, like that. So I really love this idea. So if I make my company, I would love to enjoy like kind of this office in person.
Yeah.
Experience, and then I love that.
For sure. I feel like to build upon your point, I think as you know, I use AI every day for work. Like I'm an engineer by trade, but I use AI, or I like some kind of GPT tool to help have them write my code. So eventually it's going to get so good that I'm not writing any code, but I'm still the one like telling the AI like what to do, or like, you know, how to adjust like the outputs. But like basically all this to say, like I think more and more people are going to get empowered to do more, because, you know, AI is like such a strong tool. But then as that happens, you know, I think the value of like working at a company or living your day-to-day life, I think, or one of the most important values would become like community or like human interaction. You got to enjoy what you do and why you're doing it, so that you feel motivated. So I think like as AI becomes more and more prevalent in our lives, the value of in-person meetups, communities, will become more important as well. So I feel like what we're building towards is actually aligned with the proliferation of AI as well. So a lot of people in San Francisco are doing AI, obviously. And you know, when I meet people, they're like, "Oh, why aren't you doing AI? Like, why are you still doing Web3?" It's like, I'm like, well, I mean, first of all, both of them are just like technology, so it's whatever. But also, I feel like we're actually headed in the same direction. I think they can complement each other pretty well. So yeah.
I see. Interesting. And then speaking of living in San Francisco, so is this your third year?
No, this is I've only been here for a year, so this is my second year now.
I see. From Michigan, you said?
I lived in North Carolina, then Seattle, then Hawaii, then briefly back in Tokyo, and then back to San Francisco, yeah.
I see. So how do you describe life in San Francisco?
Work. I would just say mostly work, but also I love the fact that this city is almost specialized. I mean, I think it's our bubble, but it's almost specialized for like-minded, hardworking builders. I call them world builders, because I think people are here to do something, many of them to do something crazy, to do something that doesn't exist, but they have this vision of a world that they like to live in, and that they want to make that a reality. Whether that's AI, whether that's Web3, whether that's some other technology, it doesn't matter. I feel like a lot of people are here to make their dream come true, which is cool because it's extremely motivating to go to a meetup, go to a friend's place, whatever it is, and talk to somebody that's doing something really cool. And you're like, wow, I've never thought about that before, but that's super interesting, tell me more. Or like, you know, we'd exchange ideas and then we get all creative and you can have great conversations around things. So I think San Francisco is the best city for builders.
Cool! Thank you. I love that. I needed to come back to San Francisco in July, and I want to more deep dive.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool communities that you can join, I think. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, last question, Kei. Tell us about your dream, whatever, in 5 years, 10 years?
Is it a personal dream, like company
personal
dream?
Do you want to live in here or you want to explore other places?
I mean, I think first and foremost, my goal is to realize our company's vision. You know, like that's what we're out here to do. We have to, it's the world that I want to live in. And in order to make that happen, we have to do everything we can in our power to move the industry in that direction. So hopefully in 5 to 10 years, I don't know if every company would have adopted this, but hopefully there are many, many examples of companies doing this, and it becomes more normal for people to do this. And then, you know, as we do that, I hope that, you know, we get to work with more companies from all around the world, not just like the Western world or some parts of Asia, you know, work with every company from every continent. And so, you know, I would love to see my role kind of evolve to be able to kind of travel around the world, talking to these companies or communities or whatever, selling them on the vision and moving them in that direction. You know, I grew up all over the world, and so I don't feel like there's one place I call a home necessarily. So I think, you know, moving forward as well, I would like to have, you know, multiple places where I can like consider home. You know, a house here in the US, a house in Japan, a house in Singapore, something like that would be super ideal. And then, you know, I can like kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, this is ideal too. Yeah. I see. Okay, Kei, thank you so much for your amazing wisdom today.
No, not at all. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and
likewise.
Can't wait to interview you in July.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Amazing. Perfect. Thank you so much for listening our Creative Tech podcast today. We hope our story to help your career and life. See you soon. Bye bye.